So I'm going to go ahead and drink this coffee. And while I'm doing that, you want to try to think about maybe the potential question that you have in mind. And then once you're finished, you're going to go ahead and get your cup and we're going to flip it over. So I made this as a Turkish style coffee, as I had on earlier episodes. That way we get some of the grounds. And if you notice, the cup itself is actually a cup for tasseography. Let's see what it says. So it says Cosmic Brew on the front, and then the stars are aligning for you on the back. The cup itself is from Goddess Provisions. It's actually in the style of astrology, so it has the phases of the moon on the bottom of the cup, as well as the 12 zodiac signs, so that way you can sort of implement that within the reading when you're doing your tasseography. I flipped the cup upside down and I turned it around 3 times because we're essentially just trying to get those coffee grounds to mix around. I asked about career. So if you notice when we're looking inside the cup, now if you're listening to this through the audio version of the podcast, I'm going to do my best to describe it for you. If you are watching on the video version or want to watch on the video version later, I am recording the tasseography reading. About career, I'm asking about like acting and music. That's the sort of career I'm going into. We have a heart, if you notice right away on the bottom. So that's sort of the central point that we're seeing here. As we're looking at the various zodiac signs, I'm noticing that we have a little bit kind of coming on Aries and Taurus, but not a whole lot covering those. Now, I'm not sure what all that means because I haven't done a lot of tasseography, but if I had to guess, we're noticing that as we start getting a little bit further along into Gemini, Cancer, Leo, we start seeing a lot more grounds that are happening right there. So if I had to guess, I would assume that's a real pickup period within the career, that there's a lot more activity just happening in general.
And that's looking like late fall, early summer, the period in which those zodiac signs fall.
So if you want to see where a lot of the coverage is happening, let's say we want to start with Gemini, because that seems to be the start of a lot of the activity. In the little booklet that it gives you with the cup, it says, "It's time to speak your truth. Take note that sometimes the hardest person to be truthful with is yourself. Don't hold back on what you already know to be true." So perhaps this has to do with some doubt, maybe that I'm having about getting into a career in acting and music and just not really holding myself back and allowing myself to see the truth. Because, I mean, if we're going back to what we did at the beginning, we have that heart. So obviously there's a lot of love, a lot of passion going right there. So I think just continuing on this path.
For any of you who don't know, I actually do psychic readings and energy work professionally. If any of you are interested in getting a psychic reading, I do palmistry, tarot, oracle, pendulums, and runes. You can contact me about that at All in the Hands on social media or by emailing me at the email for this podcast.